come into the Kenyan fray is none other than Paul Mungai Kiongera, the man that AFC Leopards will be looking up to be able at least to break this jinx against Thika United.
A jinx. Leopard to 15 points. It's just 2 points separating them. The Leopards can choose to move further forward, or the Thika United side can choose to narrow the gap a bit. I'll take you through the 90 minutes of this one with Gilbert Mavisi Celebua. I'm not exactly sure who he paid to get all his names on that. On the Swahili commentary, Michael Wera Mukusi and Ali Salim Manga will take you through that one. All you need to do is touch the language button on your remote control and press 1 of 2 for English. 2 of 2 will be Kiswahili, and you'll be ready to enjoy. So a game that is probably also proving, Gilbert, that it might just get very technical from the two sides, although it will be interesting to see how the Leopards line up for this one.
Well, not only technical, but very, very tactical indeed. Remember, Thika United have made 4 changes.
The Leopards making early foray here, trying to look for a quick pass through with 4 of them up front. Katarega takes the role of spraying the ball now onto the other side. Mangoli has made a comeback to the Leopards, much to the delight of the fans of the Ubia Stadium. And a little bit of a passing game would do no harm on the Leopard side. This one will be picked up by Elungat to start the build-up for the Thika United side. So we were talking about the number of changes on the Leopard side and whether they've had time to gel, Gilbert. Do you think
they made about 6 changes, and as you've said, some of the players have come from a sabbatical. Remember, Mangoli actually coming back from Bandari as one of the players who was playing for Leopards before. Wafula also Edwin on the right-hand side of the attack. And of course, the big man that has come into the Kenyan fray is none other than Paul Mungai Kiongera, the man that AFC Leopards will be looking up to be able at least to break this jinx against Thika United.
A jinx, Gilbert calls it. 2-1 was the scoreline in first leg. This fixture has often been a very difficult, bitter contested fixture. As Thika United try to find their footing, Katarega picks up a loose one, but doesn't keep it in possession. It's going to be taken by the captain of the Thika United side. I think the interesting thing would be the pace of the game as well. It started at a very high pace. Do you think they can maintain it?
Well, I can assure you that I was actually down there the pre-match analysis. It's pretty hot and it's very
We saw
humid.
you down there, Gilbert.
So I think they might start with a high pace, but as the game progresses, you'll definitely see the game going downwards.
We're talking about probably a minimum of 22 later on. And whether or not that will be very hot weather is another thing altogether. The captain of the side, Dennis, goes down, tumbling uncontrollably. Thinks to hit something on the side as well. I'll tell you something about players as well. They get well very quickly. Dennis stood back on his feet after that challenge from Ndirango, who's starting out from the Leopard side. From the Kariobangi Shark side, made famous because the most recently appointed coach of the Kenya national team, Harambee Stars, came from the Kariobangi Shark side. And a lot has been said about them, plus 2 other players who made their debut playing for the national team as well. The Leopards will have to organize their passing to be able to move forward. Thika United pick it up again. Mwanje down onto the right side and then leaves the work to Michael Lavutsi. This is going to be a free kick that will be given to the Thika United side. The foul is on Mukangula. Man who's already scored 3 goals for the side seems to have been unfairly tackled by Bernard Bunyasi Ongoma. Now you've got to worry about Ongoma as well. He's a very good player, but a very hard tackler, and sometimes, you know, with unnecessary fouls.
Well, that's the reason why they actually put him in a holding midfield role. They know that that's exactly where Thika United excel with their passing game. And therefore, they must get somebody who can be able at least to cut out those movements in the middle.
Oh, that's not a very good shot coming from the Cameroonian, who's on the Thika United side. Joel Nsa Tata just doesn't take that shot right. It's quite a waste. It's going to be to the advantage of the Leopards, who will start the build-up on their side now. And a big one by a very confident Ian Otieno. Midfield battle not yet to be won, but each looking for the quick ways to get forward. It's one intended for Katarega, doesn't get his head onto it. Well, it's off the field of play. It's going to be a throw-in. Going to be to the Thika United side. But this man is a darling of the crowd as well. If only he didn't keep the ball for too long, Katarega, and if he left the theatrics behind, that usually gets him a yellow card, you know, he would be one of the playmakers in the Premier League.
He's a good technical player, he's got very good speed, he's got very good shots, but again, as you have said, he overdoes it, and in most cases, he gets most of the players in an offside position.
Quick rebuttal back into the midfield. Then ultimately, Ndirango's trying to get himself into that. He's made his presence felt in the Leopards table very quickly. I think there's going to be a foul there on Ndirango, so he's got to start it. Mr. Onyango says, you better start the the ball again by putting it down and taking a free kick. They were just in a little bit of a hurry to remove it. They haven't settled down at all, the two sides. It's a quick and rush game in my opinion at the moment, trying to get an early goal and trying to destabilize the defenses early enough as well. That's equally a very quick clearance out of the field of play. What a throw in for the Leopards. Kiongera, first time we see him having a touch on the ball, but losing it to another man who's also been on the national team, Dennis Odhiambo, the captain of the Thika United side. This possesses Kiongera. It's going to be a free kick. And it's going to be for the Thika United side. Yep, it might not be that hot, but it's still enough to break a little bit of sweat in the resultant heat. Thika then send it forward again. Ray losing it. And the Leopards, again, just in a hurry to try and point out the men. You know, not really calculated passes is going up front, Gilbert.
Well, that's why I always say that it takes on a lot of character from the players to be able to come down and just do their passing game. Because as you said, it's a pressurized game. Both teams are lying at the bottom of the table. And both teams want at least to get these 3 points. And that's why there's a lot of pressure on both sides.
Well, let's give them their proper dues, Gilbert. They are lying at the bottom half of the table, not at the bottom of the table.
13,
no,
14,
there is City South and Sofa Park are right at the bottom there, so if it's some consolation. But yes, in the lower half of it, as the Leopards will pick it up again in their own half, trying to look for an avenue to use now. And Yakubu sends it forward, trying to get Kiongera. It challenges for the aerial balls as well, and that will be an added advantage. Whether or not they're going to use it properly, we'll wait to be seen. Nyaberi just decides to send it forward. 7 minutes of very fast-paced action, Gilbert. They didn't want to take time to, you know, to size each other up, you know, with the passing game. They decided to try and get the goals early enough.
Well, that's the worst part of it. Both teams want to get onto the score sheet as quickly as possible. They're making a lot of mistakes. I've not seen any of these teams making at least 3 consecutive passes.
Oh, this is going to be a foul and a yellow card, in my opinion. A very deliberate foul here. And yes, the first yellow card of the game is given out to Collins Okumu. Collins, a player who's just come back to the Thika United side, much to the delight of the coach here, but he knew just how dangerous this was going to be. Doesn't get the ball at all and ends up with a big foul on Alfred Rekesa.
Well, popularly known as Kemboy, I think that's the reason why he's not playing in an offensive position. He's playing as a striker, and the key instructions were anytime that he gets onto the ball, he must dash to the box as quickly as possible.
So the team is turning him into a sprinter now. You can only nickname your player or your son Kemboy if you want him to have the running prowess that the man who has a famous name like that one usually does. It looks like it's Katarega who will be organizing it. On the left foot, goes directly to the wall and takes a deflection that will set it out for a corner. But a well-taken shot by Katarega. I think he was banking on the drop coming in slightly earlier. And a quick one taken by the Leopards, looking for a chance at a shot. Enough blue stockings trying to go for it. Thika United not completely out with it. Kiongera pushes it further. I'll tell you, it's not just the effect of the boom mics. It's also because they're really giving it a thorough working here. 2 men in the offside position for the Leopard side. Again, a good onslaught from the Leopard side.
Well, it's very evident that the instruction from the coach is that in the last 15 minutes, if you can be able to get a goal, then you can solidify your strength in this particular game. So that's the reason why Thika United are on their back throttle at this point, AFC Leopards being on their ascendancy in the first 9 minutes of this game.
Martin Elungat will start it for the Thika United side. The team that plays off the industrial town of Thika. And where some very good pineapples are grown as well, but coming into the sugarcane area, I tell you could almost think about a fruit salad in a match like this one. But what we're seeing in the first 9 minutes is a cocktail of fast-paced action, attempts at quick runs forward, the best having come from the Leopards. This time round it is Ray Omondi who goes down, claims that it was a very unfair tackle and wants to indulge the referee in it as well. He will get a free kick. It was Luda, I think, who went down. The kick really of no consequence. The Leopards will probably have a better idea on what to do with it. Nyaberi, the first one to head it out. Well, it's not a very physical game, but I tell you, there's a lot of contact that is forcing lots of players off their feet. Dirango will get a touch again. Yet to see how he's going to execute a pass, because he has not yet executed an accurate pass, in my opinion, since he came into the game. A good attempt to try and get through by Ray Omondi. Oh, the Leopards, the Thika United side now picking it up. This will be a foul. A deliberate one again, committed right in front of the referee by Bernard Ongoma, also known as Bernard Bunyasi. And I always get a little bit worried of Bernard when he's the one doing the tackling, Gilbert.
Well, you've said it. I think he has been given the destroyers.
To destroy the feet of the opponents, Gilbert. I thought he wants to destroy the move, but he's destroying more of the feet and committing the fouls. I worry about him. He's committed the foul and given away a free kick to the Thika United side. Dennis casually lifts it into the area. Gets a second chance to try and bring it back. Well, they're trying to open up the wings as well, the Thika United side. It's just one of the few times they've come into the Leopards half so deep. But Christian Mwazo on the other side cuts them out. A lot of complaints, Gilbert, from the players. They're actually blaming each other for those moves. Is it because they haven't gelled properly, or what is the problem?
Well, I think Ian is giving instructions to the coach, to the AFC Leopards left back, Mwanzo, and Mwanzo is retaliating by telling him, why don't you just calm down? I think it just stems from the pressure that is on that field this afternoon.
They need to have some patience and to calm down a bit, don't they? This one comes into the area again, and a quick shot out of the area will send it to the midfield and out of the field of play. It's going to be a throw-in now. This is going to be for the Thika United side, with Odiamo, the man who takes it. A nice easy chest, but sends the ball off the field of play. I think Joel Tata just wasn't confident enough. Or is it Luda? Just wasn't confident putting that ball on the chest. As Leopards again look for some foray up front, managing to keep it in play. Looking for support to come from just at the box. Oh well. The fans' disappointment says it all. They just couldn't string a move with that ball, Gilbert.
Well, it's very interesting. I mean, from the onset, you've seen that they're taking time to gel, because they've not been able to knit at least 3 consecutive passes, and giving a lot of bad passes, both from Thika United and AFC Leopards, showing you clearly that this game is very, very pressurized indeed.
Wanje and Michael Levusi trying to get onto it, pushing down on the right side. Getting the support. Again, all trying to get the ball out. Katarega gets it out fast. A good idea to hold the move further to get more men coming onto the ball. Dirango this time round executes an accurate passer. And he will get the return ball, Dirango. Nice stand back inside. Places it in the box. And it's in the net. It's Paul Mungai Kiongera. And he says, come down. I'm back and I'm here. But what a move from the midfield. A move that involves Kemboi, Alfred Wekesa, and a move that involved Dirango, and ultimately completed by Mungai Kiongera. Scores on his return to the Leopards. That's a spray. Tundirango cuts it back in. Lovely placing right in front of Kiongera, who doesn't miss. This is what the Leopards is supposed to be all about.
Well, you talked about the patient build-up, and the man that is in charge is actually Mangoli in the midfield, together with the man playing on the right-hand side of that striking force, Dirango, and of course with the calmness of Kiongera. You expected that AFC Leopards would be leading Thika United by 1-0 in the 15th minute.
Well, the tide has changed here, and it's in favour of the Leopards. A lovely runner that has resulted into a goal now. So maybe that will calm the nerves a little bit now, because there was a frenzy in trying to get the build-up to work. And now we see the danger that Dirango brings into the game for the Leopards from the right flank. It's Kiongera again. He's got the height, and now he's got Alfred Wekesa running for it on the left side. Katarega brings in the left foot cross, headed down by Samuel Mwanje. And now the Thika United side will probably have to build patiently as well. Otherwise, they were all rushing at that moment. A good thing about a goal is that it changes the way the game is played all the time.
It does open up the game, and I think in terms of tactics, Thika United will definitely have to change their approach, because from the onset they were trying to move the balls quickly upward as quickly as possible.
Kyongera now deciding to go it alone. He knows Thika United very well. He's played them a million of times. Left foot cross is intercepted. Irangu, well, has got to calculate his passes and put the right weight every time he's going on in that direction. But the fans at the Mumias Sugar Complex are already an excited lot from the goal that the Leopards have scored. This will be a foul, and it will be given to the Thika United side. The man from Kariobangi Sheks, John Dirango. Oh, he'll be remembered for that pass that he laid squarely in front of Kyongera. This will obviously be judged offside, so no point in trying to go for it, Mr. Mukangula. Well, it is to wait for the restart of the game. But they really were looking for that goal, weren't they?
They were, and I think, Bernard, I mean, you look at the possession in terms of what is going on the field of play. Thika leading with 57 against AFC Leopards 43, but the possession has not really translated in what you expected, that creating numerous goal-scoring opportunities. Thika have not created a single one. AFC Leopards has created one, and they've actually put it behind bars.
It's going to be a throw-in for the Thika United side. Well, Joel Tata just makes sure that he's leaning on the defender, and Jackson Saleh then concedes the free kick for obstruction. It's going to be given to the Thika United side. 10 fouls in total. The Leopards have committed 8 of them, but they've scored a goal as well, so that will be to their credit. And good thing about scoring a goal is suddenly all your other sins are forgiven as well, because you lead in the scoring. So Thika lamps their men up front. This is Mr. Otieno. Calmly picks this up. And again, there will be a foul on the goalkeeper, so it's going to be a free kick. And he starts it close to himself, close to Edwin Wafula, another of the men who's made a comeback. Very unnecessary foul as well there. Oh, the Leopards again should have been given the advantage. Oh, it's going the other way around, so no advantage there. But I tell you, it's probably a charging offence. Kyongera wondering why he didn't get that one. You would have got a chance to see it again. And that foul is deemed to have gone against the Thika United side. That's why Kyongera doesn't get the advantage on this one. So a free kick then to the Thika United side. This goes out, it's going to be a goal kick. And now that patience, that calmness that they needed is the one that is now working, isn't it?
Well, I think this game is far from over. Both teams, they do know that they still have a lot of time on the clock to be able to play this game, 70 minutes to be precise. And of course, Leopards will not sit on their laurels expecting that Thika will just sit back. I think Thika United, once they settle in this game, they might be a force to reckon with. So far, none of these teams really dictating the pace of this game.
Well, Katarega tries to pick it up in the midfield. This will go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Yero Tieno, to start it again. The Leopards looking very comfortable in their game at the moment. Well, Tieno certainly knows that he's the choice goalkeeper in the Leopards side, so he can afford to enjoy himself a little bit. Then back into the midfield. The battle for the midfield is being aided very nicely by the height of Paul Mungai Kyongera. So things working very well for the Leopards in terms of looking for possession in the midfield. This has rolled off the field of play. Luda a little bit disappointed. Wafula probably quite happy to be back in his right back position. The Leopards, having had a brief stint in Mombasa with the Bandari side, is made a U-turn back to the Leopards. Part of the changes that Ivan Minart, the coach, has done in the Leopard side, bringing a couple of the old boys and then blending them with some talent that has been tried and tested in the name of Paul Mungai Kyongera. The back into the midfield then. Thika United forced to backpedal a little bit. And then Elungat releases it up front. Oh, that is going to be a foul. Again, dangerous play coming from the defender. And giving away a free kick. So Thika again is trying to look for the openings. They won the opening fixture 2-1. But the Leopards want to change that now. They haven't had a win in 9 games. Talk about having to make a very big sprint. by the goalkeeper, and Elmgat suddenly is forced to run all the way back to pick this one up. This is Luda. Katarega then picks it up. Plays it down onto the right side of Fuller. With an easy boot, and then Irangu sends it back to Fuller. Now they bring it to the center. The one thing that you'll have to credit to Kiongera is the fact that he's able to control the ball and also spread the passes. Punched away this one by Ian Otieno in the wake of a big run by Ray. The one moment that the Leopards almost caught napping. And look at where Ellen got his play from. It really has adopted a high line at the moment, Gilbert.
Well, the truth of the matter is that AFC Leopards are trying to play that long ball, but that's another back pass from Okumu, and almost gifting Leopards the second goal, and that's why the fans were all over the place.
Well, the flag seems to have stayed down, with the goalkeeper coming off his line to pick this one up. And this young man knows very well, Lukagula, that he should have done something more with that ball. Now that the flag stayed down, these chances don't come that easy. It's been created on the left side by Kemboi. He's moved into the box, takes a little bit too long to go for the shotter. But with an electrifying run on the left side. Oh yes, it might be nicknamed Kemboi. They might want to change his name to Rudisha. I mean, that sprint is a big World Cup winning sprint, isn't it?
Well, I think I told you that he comes from one region where they have Kemboi at Western Steamer, and for the mere fact that he's actually an alumni of Kakamega High School.
This is Mangoli, and nice distribution down in the midfield, and then let down by Wekesa this time round. Not quick enough to push it forward. At the moment, the Thika United side seems to be looking for an avenue to use, and it's not coming very easily to them. The big Yakubu is there as well to stop this one, or even let it roll back to the flamboyant goalkeeper, Ian Otieno of the Leopards side. But this one, Kemboi suddenly beat his marker very nicely here. If only had released the shot on time, Gilbert.
Yeah, I mean, he had beaten Okumu very, very well, but again, his third touch let him down. He was in a very prime position to give a good pass. He didn't.
The cross comes in from the left side, headed out by Okumu. Oh, Katarega now gets back onto his feet after insinuating that he could have taken something on the cheeks. This is intended for Katarega's left foot. That was a very good turn. And a good footwork as well for some good brilliance. Dirango got Mangoli close to him. And Dirango has got so much pace, plays it all the way back. That's an easy take now by Lovutsi. And then the Leopards top it back in the midfield. Oh, they're enjoying themselves for sure, Gilbert, aren't they?
Well, of course they're leading, and the only way to frustrate an opponent who's actually losing is to try and stay as much as possible on the ball, especially that young man with his little theatrics electrifying the crowd at Mumia Sports Ground.
So Thika will start to build up again. And they will build up knowing very well that most of the avenues that they could have used are very well patrolled at the moment. Tonya Berry then pushes it slightly to the center. And Mangoli easily intercepts this one. Wekesa takes his time, bangs it against Nyaberi. And Irangu goes in dangerously, says the referee. A quick start then by the Thika United side. Dennis Odiambo forced to come back into the midfield as well to stabilize it a bit for the Thika United side. They're spreading it out on the right. And good anticipation by Ian. Lets the ball roll off the field of play. It's going to be a goal kick. And it's going to be for the Leopards. I'll tell you who's in a hurry to restart. It's the Thika United side. It's not Ian Otieno. It's taking his time and strolling on the side. At the moment, he's got the bragging rights. And seems to really have confidently placed himself in between the box for the Leopards. So that's what he's going to be. This is Kiongera. Well, he loves to score goals, doesn't he? I mean, it's not just from here as well. Even when he played for KCB, he was the top scorer there. Played for Gorbaya, was scoring the goals as well. Just had a very lulled kind of stint in Tanzania.
Yeah, he played for Tanzania, but literally did not score any single goal, and I think they let him go. But he has found his footing, scoring the first goal.
Is the Thika United side with a good dummy, but then quickly taken by the defenders on the Leopard side, who want to go for a very quick one up front to Magoli, but he's not in a good position to receive this one. Timothy Luda almost dispossessed. This one comes out to the left with Ray. pushes it into the feet of the defenders. Just wasn't confident about his footing as he was going in there. Oh, that would be a foul. In my opinion, a very blatant one as well on the youngster Zirango. It's lucky he's not going to be getting a card for this one. But this one was so obvious by Mwanje.
Well, Mwanje has been actually given the role of making sure that AFC Leopards that play football in the midfield, and that's why at times you find that AFC are trying to play the long balls behind the defenders. But again, you have to give it to the Thika United defenders. They're very, very strong, especially on aerial football.
Oh, another of the shots that are being released by the Leopards. I'm not exactly sure where the motivation is coming from, but the shots are coming in hard. They're being fired from all directions by the Leopard side, and so there must be just a little bit of more motivation than just having had new players come into the field of play. This is Kiongera, shields it nicely for Kesa. Doesn't get a chance for anything. He played the ball. And Kesa will have to be releasing the balls much earlier. That's brilliant defending by Okumu. Tackles the ball and gets the ball. Absolutely no foul in that one. Even though the fans, of course, from their analysis would tell you that's a penalty, that's for sure. You know the fans, they always have their own rules in a game like this one. It'll be a corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Leopards jerseys. Well, 4 actually. And an in-swinger coming in again. But Kesa does well to stop the danger for the Thika United side. He should be scoring in there.
Well, at some point I thought that he was the one who's defending. But again, he just want to give it to that young man. I think this is the first time he's playing his first full game, starting for Leopards, and giving Thika United defenders a run for their money.
But they don't have a lot of money, I must tell you, so he's giving them a run for the little money they've got here. But Kesa, certainly a young man to watch on the Leopard side. His pace, of course, will be timing it for Olympic qualifying standards where he runs on that side. The shots are coming in hard as well from him. So it's proving to be an all-rounder. This is going to be a throw-in that will be given to the Leopards. Odhiambo shielding it away from Alan Katarega. 2 goals to his credit, Katarega. They're probably trying to get some more. But a little bit of a panic then forces the Thika United side to come out very first. They don't get the passes to the intended. Even though this is adjudged as a handball by Wafula. Well, what's he saying? It's not a handball? He's saying the referee is lying. But here it is again. But there it hits his hand, of course. That's a handball. But players are very good actors as well, so they would often make you feel like you're the one who's made the mistake. Wafula will say categorically, no, I didn't do it. But then he said it's okay.
But
so,
he doesn't have the final authority, Bernard.
Well, he later admitted and said it's fine. He gave a thumbs up, so it's going to be a free kick. Looks like Jabir is coming up for it as well. They lift it onto the side. Well, that's the second time they've had a shot towards goal and it's going out for a throw-in, Gilbert.
Well, the first time it was actually Dennis Odhiambo. The second
it was a Cameroonian Tata.
Nyamberi. Well, in modern football, I think set pieces are actually half a goal, and this is something that the Kenyan players need to realize. Getting set pieces in and around the box are supposed to be translated.
Well, 30 minutes of play gone by. 60% ball possession being run by the Thika United side. And, well, in the 30 minutes that we've played, the Leopards have actually taken the higher percentage of 56%. And they've scored a goal out of that one as well. Back into the midfield. Better ball control this time round from Ray Omondi. And a good ball down. The goalkeeper's off his line. It's been tossed onto the other side, looking for the simplest of touches. The defenders keep it in check. But the first time that the Thika United side is busting through to try and go for goal. And the first time that Otieno is also miscalculating his move there, Gilbert.
At times, and you talked about the highline that AFC Leopards is playing, and the space that is being left between the central defender and the goalkeeper. And there was nothing that Ian would have done other than coming out and putting pressure on Luda. Had he not done that, that young man who actually plied his trade with Leopards last season would have actually put Thika on the scoreboard.
Well, good thing is he blurred his vision of the goal by coming out of the goal area. Skengara's gone down, but the referee says play on until they have the advantage. Unless it's, well, now he stops it for some attention here. Kiongera has really been involving himself in literally everything that is going. I think it takes a little bit of a knock from his own player. Bangoli was getting himself in there as well. And it's something on the wrist, so could just be a knock. Problem is they come they come in very many ranges. It could be a single knock, it could be a very simple injury, it could also be an aggravated injury. Sometimes it results into dislocations as well. But it looks strong enough, seems to be giving instructions as well. He had this build-up much earlier on, and he's got Dirango to thank for it. Placed it squarely in front of him for a left foot touch into the net to change the scoreline in favor of the Leopards. Deceptive, diminutive is the adjectives you could use for Dirango, but he lays a square, gigantic pass to Kyongera, who puts it in the net. So Leopards still leading this one by 1 goal to nil in the 33rd minute of the game. The referee, of course, is going to give back the advantage to the team that had possession before he stopped it. I think it had gone off the field of play, so Thika United have the ultimate right to take it on themselves. This is going to be another throw-in. So, for the Leopards this time round. The referee says it's a foul on Alan Katarega. It's going to be a free kick. Quickly takes it as well. Katarega is too much of a rush. Dennis joining in the build-up is Samuel Mwaje, trying to get a knee in road. Then dashing it down. This is going to be given out for a corner, because the last touch was with the Leopards. You got a chance to see it twice every time. That's the last touch here. Saleh then evades it at the very last moment, and Tata seems to say that there was a final touch by Saleh to make it a corner. Ian knows that he can't come out as fast as he has the previous times. He's got to stay his line, because the defenders are here as well. And a left-footed swinger will be the preferred shot by the Thika United side. Enough tall men try to go for it. And a shot back towards the area. Oh, getting a chance for a second shot. There's enough men in navy blue. I think it's going to be an offside then on Ray Omondi. And it's going to be given out for a free kick to the Leopards. He really thought he had transplanted himself nicely in there, but the assistant equally saw him. So another 2 shots from the Thika United side that don't get on target.
Well, they don't get on target. We got a very clear indication of how Thika United can be beat after they lost 2 goals to 1 against score. The first few minutes of the game, they were not in there. But again, once you give them time to settle down, they can really be extremely dangerous. And you've seen them in the last few minutes. They are on the ascendancy.
Getting very physical as well in here. And Jackson Saleh together with Yakubu are the people who are making it happen. Ian as well has got some injury on the other side, so he's going to have to stay his line, because he can't keep coming out too often. He's playing like a defender, and that means he's going to be involving himself a lot more in the game than he should. And I think he's already playing his role so well as a goalkeeper. He really doesn't need to play anything more, does he?
Now, the biggest problem is that AFC Leopards right back Wafula is actually pushing up forward into very advanced position, and they are leaving a big gaping hole right behind him. And that's where Thika United are trying to play those long balls between Ian and his central defenders. And he will be forced to come out as the last man, so long as AFC continue playing the way they are.
Well, the only danger then would be that the ball could be lobbed over him, you know, coming out of his area to play as the last man. And he almost exposed himself to similar danger a couple of minutes ago. But overall, he's maintained his position very nicely, Mr. Ian Otieno. Well, suddenly, a very changed AFC Leopards that we are watching today. More zeal, more attack, more running as well. And more calculated build-up. That is catching the Thika United side a little bit of unawares. Well, this one by Jackson Saleh is a handball. It's going to be a free kick. He seems to have mixed himself up in that. I tell you, players would, it's Wafula, I beg your pardon, but players would often say, look, I didn't hand the ball, even when it's so clear that they already did it. So, how will the Thika United side then organize this one? They're pushing literally everybody forward. About 3 men in the box. 2 more just lacking on the outside. And the left foot cross brought in! And a free header allowed to Ray Omondi. He just doesn't find the target. So it's just a calculation of it that goes wrong. But floated very nicely by Joel Tata. Veers off target. And the Leopards will breathe easy for a few moments after this to start the build-up again. But he knows he was allowed the time and the space to be able to go for the header, Gilbert.
Well, looking very vulnerable at the back, FC Leopards not being able to deal with the crosses. And Ray Omondi, of course, with his height, about 6'1", coming in handy, especially when the crosses are brought into that FC Leopards red guard.
Bernard Mankori. And an easy take by the Thika United side. Again, the attempt to arrange it by Joel. And then down on the left side with Timothy Luda. They will get the benefit of a corner from a quick interception here. So the Leopards defense, you know, now getting caught in a lot more of blunders than they were in the first 20-30 minutes. I think because the forwards did all the work for them earlier on. But now they've got to contend with a push that is coming from the Thika United side. And again, a left foot corner, headed out by Kiongera. Mwanje certainly stopping shots, almost like asking the referee about that. As a cross comes in, and Ian picks it up. Ray arriving slightly later and not getting a chance to go for that ball.
Well, there's clearly a big problem on the right-hand side of FC Leopards' defense line where Wafula is playing in straight. And most of Thika's crosses are actually coming from the left-hand side of the attack.
The yellow card has been given to Luda for a very unnecessary tackle again. The captain stepping in on time to stop anything further that would have been going on. But I guess they're getting a little bit desperate. And with desperation comes anger. And with anger comes action that is unprecedented. Katorega was, of course, going to make mincemeat of him. And Luda decides, look, if you make something out of me, I'm going to make a big one out of you as well. The referee had already blown the whistle at this point. Katorega is a very good actor, I think, as well. So he adds a little bit of showbiz onto the game, and especially if he's the man who has been aggrieved, it becomes almost like the starring in it. Inert, very hawk-eyed, you would say, Gilbert, wouldn't you?
Is it because of his hairstyle?
I knew you were going to go there. Do Hawks spot that kind of hairstyle? He's going to go to the Leopards again with Wafula, playing it back to Yakubu. And then all the way back to the goalkeeper, Ian Otieno. I'm not exactly sure why Eugene Mukangula went down, probably from a little push that is so unnecessary as well. And it's because of this backpedaling. Ian then is forced to send the ball off the field of play. It's going to be a throw-in for the Thika United side. And again, the Leopards will pick up possession easily in the midfield. They've got the numbers. This will be a foul. Very well called for by Raymond Onyango, the centre referee. Spots an infringement on Kiongera. Oh, Kiongera has got that look that tells you, you know, what are you going to do about it, you know? Here it is like, yeah, I got the foul, so what are you going to do? And he often displays it. He did even when he scored the goal for the Leopards. It looks good, especially when you are the man on the spot, when you're the man who has scored. He's headed back by Edwin Wafula. Then Thika try to build it up again from the midfield. And a good steal comes in from the Leopards. An attempted a run down on the left side. And Dirango is obstructed. I tell you, the referee did see this very well. It's a professional foul. Simply getting to charge him before he gets onto that ball. Place a wall in front of it. But it's punishable, isn't it?
Yeah, it is punishable. And of course, Okumo is already in the referee's book on the yellow card. And he really needs to watch out because he's one of the mainstay of that Thika United central defense line. And he has to put this one lobbed into the area, headed up by the big man Mwanje. As Thika then try to get a chance to move further forward. It's going to be a throw-in for the Thika United side. The Amber pushes it back. There's no alternative but to try and push forward. They don't have enough men placed strategically. Saleo brings it back. I guess the only solution at about this time is to remove the ball from your area. And that's what the Thika United side is using. With a little nice touch by Mukangula.
Then again, the Leopards will come back. Durango with those lovely little dashes. This time round, getting all the way to Elungat, who starts to build up for the Thika United side. They've been trying to get past this one. This is going to be a foul. And as well on Joel Tata, who was pulled back by Saleh, just to make sure that he wasn't moving too far forward. A free kick it will be for the Thika United side. Well, coming to this game with the backdrop of very mixed results, both sides. With Thika United having lost to Gor Mahia 1-2, and AFC having lost to Chemelil by 1-0. It's a low shot, doesn't trouble anybody, least of all the wall that was mounted. Goes down onto the right side, with Thika United charging further up, trying to bring enough men into the area. And I guess Ray Omondi will ask himself why he didn't go for that volley to try and get into the scoreboard on this one. He simply went for a very mixed shot that didn't work any miracles for anyone. It's going to be a throw-in now, as we play the last minute of regular time in the first half of round 17 of the Sportspesa Kenyan Premier League. AFC Leopards versus Thika United, with the Leopards leading by 1-0. Another good ball to Wekesa. Good footwork, good shielding as well, but he needs to release it ASAP as enough men are approaching, and that was going to be the danger. Katrega gets up to it. There is a chance for Aina. He was going to be offside anyway, but Kiongera still doesn't get it on target, but the flag is up for offside, so he wasn't going to counter. But finding himself at the right place at the right time is one quality that Kiongera possesses. And that would have crowned a first half in which the Leopards have been dominant had it gone into the net. It still doesn't take away the fact that it's a change AFC Leopards side that is playing in this game. Even as we play the 300 minutes of this game in the first half. But again, the Leopards dictating the pace here with a good ball from Durango. Another foul here. Worried about the defenders on the Thika United side because a yellow card comes up. And in as much as he's pleading that he only did it once, you don't have to do it twice to be carded. As a deterrent measure, he will not get a chance to do it again. Really was unwarranted coming from Suleiman Godho. 3 yellow cards on the Thika United side would tell you a story of desperation. Really trying to stop a steam-rolling Leopards in the first half. Again with a chance coming from the left side, with a cross coming from Durango. And he went too directly to the goalkeeper. They've changed sides with Alan Katarega, so Katarega is playing on the right side now and Durango plays on the left side. And taking chances in bringing in the crosses. This is again dangerous play. With a quick one coming to the Thika United side. Ubukangula on the left side, managing to get past his marker. He's looking for support, he doesn't find it, but gets a return ball. Novotsi pushes towards the right side. It's a very high one. Goalkeeper was almost coming off his line. Katarega to the rescue, sends it up front for the Leopards. And then Collins Akumu again sends it down on the right side. It's going to be a throw-in. And that will take away the momentum from the game. Once it adopts a certain rhythm and a certain pace, a stop in it would only slow down the pace of the game. And I think that will be very beneficial to the Leopards at the moment, who would probably want to go into the dressing room with that 1-goal lead that they hold. Well, so still off the field of play for a throw-in. I think United were getting the advantage of it. So long ball down the right side, and it's going to be a throw into the Thika United side. They're trying to make use of the last few seconds of this game to look for the leveling scores, and Ray gets in front of the goalkeeper, who manages to put the ball away. Again, it's Ian to the rescue. The shot coming off the feet of Ray Omondi on the left foot, and quite instinctively he takes it. Quite instinctively, Ian Otieno also pushes it back into play. And those two instincts, one of which has resulted into a little bit of a discomfort by Ian, will bring the first half to the end. Ray stops it nicely, bangs it on the goalkeeper, who's got his arms outstretched to put the ball back, but then fills the pitch of it after that as well. What a climax to the end of the first half here, with the ball being cleared ultimately by Edwin Wafula. Oh, an interesting first half of the round 17 of the Sports Space Kenyan Premier League. A very rejuvenated, totally different AFC Leopards playing, just being in the halfway back. They're benching Alfred Wekesa, the man who is being called Keboy, and bringing in Kefra Swani, the top scorer of the side. Swani, with 5 goals, is probably being looked at as the talisman, the one who can be able to put in more goals for the Leopard side. But my personal opinion is that the two of them should have remained on the field of play, with Wekesa and Aswani both getting a shot towards goal if they got the chances to. But the coach always knows his bets, so has already made the decision, and Wekesa's off the field of play, and Kefra Swani comes into the field of play. A striker, first striker, and wanting to try and get quick goals. This one on the left foot is easily picked up by the goalkeeper on the Leopard side, Ian Otieno. An unexpected shot coming from Eugene Mukangula, the man who scored 3 goals so far for the Thika United side. But the second half will probably be the one to decide what is going to happen. If the Leopards then continue with the kind of pace that they had in the first half, and the kind of moves they had in the first half as well, they definitely would be taking the bigger chunk of possession as well in the half. But it's also starting in a little bit of a physical combat, and Kyongera is the first casualty of it. Going down from a little bit of a physical challenge. There it is, coming from Mwanje. And going right to his face. Kyongera losing sight of the ball and going down as well. Seems to say that he was caught with the open palm of Mwanje right onto the face. The Leopard side have already gotten a free kick from that. And you honestly do hope that the Thika United side won't come back with that desperation written all over them, because then it will make them make very many mistakes in the game, and that will not be good for the game. Ivan Minnaert, the head coach, then Ezekiel Akwana was there training the team just before the second half started, although we are given Nicholas Buyoti as the assistant coach. It will be interesting to see what the free kick will do for the Leopard side. Trying to take it from the right side. Katarega lifts it deep into the box. Yeah, it is the header. But overhead. And a perfect chance to try and get a goal for Bernard Mangoli. But it seems to have come too far forward for the ball, and so he wasn't quite steady on his feet. Plus the fact that Martin Elungan lands on him, leaves Bernard Mangoli in an awkward position here, with a little bit of an uncomfortable situation, and with no goal as well. But there's no doubt about the fact that he's made his inclusion in the team felt here, Gilbert. And in this second half again, he will be relied on to do duty for the Leopards.
Well, he will be relied on, especially that man on the ball, Aswani coming in the second half.
The referee will give it out for a penalty. And Aswani's first contact with the ball here results into an necessary push and a foul. That Nyaberi one was one, but he was preparing to take a shot. Nyaberi does what defenders like to do most, crosses his feet, making sure that he catches him a bit there. Aswani could have added it. There it is again. He already has got his boot on himself, although it could have just enhanced it a bit. But it picks up the penalty for the Leopard side. Alan Katarega is called to provide the kick for it. Katarega's shot is saved. He comes back and pushes it in the net. But the rebound is what results into the net. A quick reaction from Alan Katarega, and a slow reaction from the goalkeeper then. Gets the Leopards a second goal. Well, here it is again. Elugard goes to the right side, but doesn't recover quickly. And Katarega uses his right foot then to put the ball in the net and change the scoreline for the Leopards.
Well, but I think it's the follow-up of Katrega and, of course, the laziness of Elonget from getting up after punching the ball into play. That reaction by Katrega is what actually gets FC on the scoreboard.
Well then, things have changed here. It's Leopards 2, Thika United 0. With the 49th minute, Alan Katrega goal. A rebound after the penalty. This will necessitate changes by the Thika United side. They're making a double substitution. The first one off the field of play is Michael Mutinda, beg your pardon. We've had his name as Lovuti all along. It's Michael Mutinda who is sent to the bench. And Asad Musa comes into the field of play then. So two quick substitutions, two substitutions for the Thika United side, ostensibly to try and check what the Leopards side is doing in this game. The defenders' laxity showing in allowing Katrega to come back into a rebound and stab the ball home to make the score 2-0 for the Leopards. It's going to be a very difficult chance for the Thika United side to try and come back. Durango again running down on the right side. Now his darting runs becoming clearer and more confidently coming into the box. Oh, this is going to be a yellow card now. Well, for a dive. He'd already done so well down on the flanks. There was absolutely no reason for him to go down.
He was still in control of the ball. Very good run, very good dash by John Durango on the left-hand side of the attack, leaving Dennis on his feet and tries to cut back in. He should have stayed on his feet. He should have gone for goal, and that's a very good call from the center referee, Raymond Onyango.
There's been another substitution as well. Well, Asad Musa, we said earlier, has come in for Michael Mutinda, who was in the field in jersey 15. The change that has been made by the Leopard side. We'll be interested to see where he's going to be playing as well, where he's going to be placed into the game. Then back into the midfield, the Thika United side is frantically trying to control things here to limit the damage. Well, again, an interception, and that's the laxity with which the defense is playing that is costing them a lot. On the other hand, the Leopards forwards have decided to also include a little bit of speed in their game, and that has worked well for them, hasn't it?
Well, I think what has happened is that they've now brought back Yongera into usual number 10 position and allowed Aswani to fly straight as a lone striker at the top.
Well, that will change a little bit of how the Leopards game is played. That's Kiongera now, moving back to play behind the striker. The new substitute, Asad Musa, picks up the ball for the Thika United side. Long ball onto the flanks. Now, of course, you do know that those kind of balls, if they're going to the flanks, help to open up the flanks, helps to bring in the runs as well. And for the Thika United side, that has been lacking in the entire first half, hasn't it?
It has been lacking. All the balls that they're sending upwards are actually closer to AFC Leopards goalkeeper Ian Otieno, and he has had very, very easy time to deal with those kind of passes. They're trying to get Ray Omondi at the top with those long passes, but again, they've really not made any mark in the first 53 minutes of this game.
I think there must have been a touch by Odhiambo earlier on that resulted into the throw-in. He was trying to dummy it, but then he ended up touching it, so the throw-in was for the Leopards. Thika United have about 4 men on that left side trying to break through. The ultimate touch by Joel. Then again, still trying to use the left flanker, overloading it to try and break it. But then they don't pick up the loose pieces. The defenders don't either. And a turn here, looking for a chance for a shot towards goal. The deflection takes place, but it's picked up by Ian Otieno. This is going to be a goal kick. And again, the Leopards defenders almost looking like they've been caught by surprise by just that one move of that touch. The clearance not done. And almost gifting away a chance for a shot if it wasn't for the fact that it took too long to take that shot towards goal, Gilbert.
Yeah, there is a little bit of discomfort, especially from Saleh in the central defense. Of course, Manzo on the left-hand side of defense and Wafula on the right-hand side of defense. They are really not clearing those balls as quickly as possible and making very silly mistakes in front of goal.
Well, big boot down onto the left side by Nyaberi. Again, trying to open up that left flank. They've worked so hard at trying to do that. This time round, a bigger cross coming in from Odhiambo Dennis, but it's picked up by Ian Otieno. Sends it back to the left side for a build-up for the Leopards. Oh, Katarega, I'm sure, will be celebrating the loudest today. He really has some nice little touches every time. But then again with the ball that he's already scored. and he's playing much better than he has in previous games. This is Aswani, sprays the ball onto the right side. And Dirango was trying to set it up but went into the move a little bit too fast because Kiongera wasn't there, neither was Aswani. I think it's going to be a little bit of a confusion now, especially for Dirango, on who's playing at the top between Kiongera and Aswani. Because Aswani likes to approach it from the flanks. Kiongera likes to approach it directly and in the middle. And in that confusion, Dirango just didn't know exactly where to take the ball to. The Leopards want another change. That's why there's a stop. Looks like it's Andrew Tololwa. So again, wanting the midfield to light up a bit. A little bit unfortunate for the youngster Dirango. He just started enjoying himself, but he's got to go off the field of play at the moment. But he will always, of course, be given the credit for having placed that pass squarely in front of Kiongera in the 15th minute of the game. And that is what gave the Leopards the goal. The opening goal in this game. They've since scored another one through Katarega from a penalty rebound, not from the penalty itself. And makes the Leopards very comfortable in approaching this game so far. But they haven't done much change in the way they're playing, just that there's been a change in the system. And it apparently is giving more possession to the Thika United side. Katarega dispossessed again. Then a bigger boot by Jackson Saleh sends it further forward. Headed back by Okumu. Here is Tololwa. On his first touch, plays it well with Bangoli. Gets the return ball as well. And looks to punch it through at the middle. Looking for a shot towards goal. Bangoli's second chance to try and put a goal in for the Leopards is better than his first one. But it's just not accurate. It veers off target for the returnee of the Leopard side, Magoli. He's a returnee, isn't he?
Well, he had his play. He applied his play to Leopards before he left for Bandari.
So he has returned to Leopards.
So you're right. He's a returnee. But his complement. I mean, it's the combination between him and the man who's just strolled into the field. That is Andrew Tololwa, already paying dividends.
Yes, he's doing well. I mean, look, one of them is holding and the other one is very fluid. I think Tololwa will be the fluid one in this one. It doesn't mean that Magoli himself cannot be fluid when he wants to, because when he's got possession, he equally moves fast and forward as well. There's a good combination for the two midfielders on the Leopard side. But again, the worry will be, who's a pinpoint striker now? Whether Kiongera will be moving in or whether it will be Aswani, and that is why all those balls are looking like lost balls for the Leopards at the moment.
Well, from the look of things, I think Kiongera has gone to the right-hand side of the attack. Aswani is right in front, and Mangoli is playing slightly behind Aswani, meaning the man who's going to sit back will definitely be Tololwa in an holding midfield role.
Well, they can always exchange the two positions, the two of them. They're capable of that in the midfield. Other games being played around the country. Chemelil Sugar is leading Sofapaka by 2-1. Bandari and Ushuru is still at 0-0, still playing. And Western Stima and Mathare United equally at 0-0, still playing. This is offside. It's going to be a free kick to the Leopard side. 2-1, Chemelil at Sofapaka. Mathare United and Western Stima, that one's still playing. They haven't yet found the back of the net. Some of the games that are being played today, a couple of other matches will be played tomorrow as well. This is going out for a throw-in. It's going to be for the Thika United side, rather for the Leopard side. The Thika United side now trying hard to rein in some possession, but equally trying hard to create their own moves up front. Tololwa was going for this one. It doesn't go too far away. It's picked up just midway, but then the Leopards lose it. And Tololwa will go for it again. Just off the field of play, it's going to be a throw-in. It's going to be for the Thika United side. Well, I think United also have Salim Zeh in the game. They made a double substitution earlier on. But for some reason, Gilbert, the play that the Leopards has adopted is gifting possession to the Thika United side. Or would you say it's the Thika United side that is actually changing their play to have more possession?
I think it's a Leopards tactical change that has made Thika more into the game, because now they have allowed Paul Kiongera, who is normally a number 10, playing on the right-hand side, and of course pulled Bernard Mangoli from a holding midfield role into an attacking role, playing as a number 10 with two holding midfielders, that is Tololwa and Ongoma. So to me, I think they're playing defensive, and that's why they're allowing people to come, Thika United come to us.
Leopards again. Out on the left side. Big boot forward. But then the goalkeeper comes out to pick it up. I guess it's going to be a challenge that will be penalized. Yakubu goes down. He's a big man, so to get him down there requires a little bit of energy. And to get him to Winston Payne requires even more energy. But someone on the Thika United side actually managed to do that. You know, at about this time when the Leopards is leading, that hairstyle looks very good on Ivan Minnaert. Oh, there is a shot out of a little bit of overconfidence and extravagance as well. Tololwa gives it a very big boot that goes off the field of play. It will be a research by the Thika United side, finding space and moving in the midfield as well. Assad Musa will get the benefit of the free kick for the Thika United side. They've also got Salim Zeh, who's stabilizing a little bit of that midfield for the Thika United side. The ref says, look, wait for the whistle. Players often want to steal a little bit of an inch away from where the free kick should be taken. This is pushed away by Jackson Saleh. I think United will catch it up again. I'm not exactly sure if this is what the Leopards wants to do, but they seem to have gone into a defense mode at the moment, Gilbert.
Well, that's why I said that they have Ongoma and Tololwa in a holding midfield role, and the Mangoli is playing right.
Is that a good way to play it now?
It simply means that they've gone back into a defensive role, so they are playing a 1-4-5-1 formation defensively.
And they probably will be looking for the fast breaks to go out with Kefra Swani playing at the top. They probably also had it figured out, wanting the 2 goals in the first half and then playing the holding game at the moment. But I guess that makes it a very difficult time for Kefra Swani. He's really in for some hard work up front, chasing to try and take possession, and equally chasing to try and shoot towards goal, and probably being the only one who will be given that role at the moment. Thika United now finding more space to be able to give possession to, but again, you've got to watch out where you're taking the ball to.
Well, Leopards should be wary of this Thika United. Remember how they behaved against Gore in the second half. They had literally most of the ball percentages, especially in the second half, and I believe that AFC Leopards need to push up a little bit further if they want to run away with these 3 points.
Katarega looks round and doesn't look too far to be able to play for possession. Then Yakubu with a bigger boot forward. This will go all the way to the goalkeeper, Elungat. That's the build-up for the Thika United side, who I'm sure will very much want to go past the midfield more accurately than they are doing at the moment. Kefra Swani picks it up, left foot shot. The goalkeeper Elungat will come off his line. And with the defenders in a desperate situation, with Kefra Swani as well, desperately trying to get a touch on it. Turns into a little bit of an interesting physical combat in there. Zeh spreads it out to the left side. We haven't seen this man on the ball for a long time. Timothy Luda brought down. Luda will get a foul just on the edge of the box. Referee on the spot there, knowing exactly where Wafula has committed that foul. Luda had the confidence to just try and dash in there. That's right on the line. Very good call by the referee.
It's a good call, and again, a good tackle by Wafula. He knew that Luda is getting closer into the box, and he was going to create more problems. So what do? Put him out before he gets it.
How do you call that a good tackle? It's a foul tackle, Gilbert.
It's a good tackle.
No.
I mean, assuming he had made that foul in the box.
For the ball. If he gets the ball alone, it's a good tackle. But this is a foul tackle, and that's it could be costly outside the box. It's not too far away. It's a dangerous tackle here, in my opinion. The Thika United side want to use it. Dennis Odhiambo then tries to get his head to it. Another shot. This one's taken by the goalkeeper, Ian Otieno. And starts a quick build-up for the Leopards, with Katarega in control of it, shipping it forward to Kyongera. Oh, the crowd loves Kyongera. He dummies one and then brings it squarely to Tololwa, who doesn't go for the shot. Thika United come out. A very spirited run by one man, Timothy Luda. Brings the ball all the way back to the Leopard side. And Katarega again will build it up in almost a repeat sequence. But Kyongera is his teammate on that side. Katarega has a little bit more space now, taking on Yaberi. Brings it onto the side. Tololwa tried to pace them up front, but Kyongera wasn't waiting there for the ball. And again, that story about who should have been in that position where the ball was taken to will be the big question here. But for the Thika United side, they certainly tried hard, didn't they?
Well, they're trying hard at least to get at the heart of AFC Leopards' defense line. Again, you just want to marvel at the way Ian Otieno has composed himself in that goal.
Wanje joins the attack as well. A chance for a left foot shot, easily crossed into the area. The defenders quickly try and remove this one. Often a time of danger if the defenders have to remove a very low ball. Kyongera looking for Aswani, tries to pace him up. And that's a good tackle onto that ball by Collins Akumu. Gets it back to his goalkeeper and ultimately to his captain, Dennis Odhiambo. While Eugene Mukangula seemingly feeling the pain of it all on the back. Oh, the referee has got to stop it. The advantage will be with the Leopards, so ball will be given back to the Leopards. But Mukangula does feel like he was elbowed in the back in that move a couple of seconds ago. It seems to have permanently stayed out. Here it is again. A little bump from behind. I tell you, of course, those bumps do cause a lot of things. Aswani will be credited for hard work. And I guess the pace of the game, this break gives a little chance for everybody to take a swig of water and probably to readjust a couple of things as well, Gilbert.
Well, I told you that it's been pulsating out there. I mean, the sun is really hot. I could personally feel it, and yet I'm not playing. So you expect that those players are really feeling that heat, and it's actually toned down on them that they need to at least recuperate a little bit.
Well, the Leopards have possession, so in a sportsmanship gesture, it probably will be given back to them by the Thika United side from a bounce by the referee. And that's exactly what happens then. Thika United pick it up slightly past the halfway mark. They're looking for where to send it to, opting for the right flank. You heard him loud and clear. Oh, come on, referee. Eugene Mukangula doesn't believe that that goes against him. But he had a high boot. That's called dangerous play, isn't it?
That is dangerous play. That is dangerous play. There's no doubt about that. Mukangula, who has scored 3 goals to his credit, scored a beautiful goal against Gore last week in Thika, and was expected at least to spearhead the Thika attack in this one.
I think he can usually kick higher than that. That's why he was telling the referee, come on, that's just a little kick. I do better than that most of the time. But that was penalized. Leopards enjoying themselves in this game. Absolutely, no two ways about it. Then as we head into the proverbial 70th minute mark, they seem still to be in control of everything here. Tololwa has added a little bit of jest in the midfield for the Leopards. It's making it a little bit uncomfortable for the captain of the Thika United side at this moment. Oh, Ian. If there's anyone who's enjoyed himself the most in this game, it must be Ian. I mean, save from scoring a goal, he has come in as a defender. He has now come in also to take the free kicks as well. And he has done a couple of saves as well, hasn't he?
Are you saying that he's the only one who was under salary today?
Probably the one who will enjoy earning the salary. The rest were still laboring in the midfield, but he's taking it easy. Gonna be a free kick this one for Thika United. I've been told, Gilbert, that about this time people lose concentration a lot in the 70th minute.
Well, no, not when you have your pass already out there for you.
When you have your what?
Your pass.
Pass. You mean the money? Oh.
You can't afford to lose any concentration.
Aswani. His first touch lets him down because it pushes the ball to the goalkeeper. And then back into the midfield for the Thika United side. This is Mzee, who gets it out onto the left side. The captain, Dennis Odhiambo, then finds Joel Tata. Odhiambo again. And then lifts it up for a cross. Goalkeeper sets himself up to pick it and does exactly that. No trouble at all for the young Ian Otieno, who obviously will be, in my opinion, chosen for many of the assignments for the Leopard side, judging by today's position. A shot by Kyongera, tapped in by Aswani. It's in the net. And the Leopards make it 3. Minert is excited. It seems to be saying yes, bang, bang, bang. Oh, now the traditional Leopards dance comes into play. We haven't seen the dance in 9 games. And again, it is Kyongera who makes it happen by the hard shot. The resultant rebound is the one that Aswani latches onto. That's a goalkeeper's mistake. Places the ball right in front of Aswani. The hard shot, of course, came from the right side. But surely he knows he should have kept the ball in grasp.
Yes, you're right, Bernard. The goalkeeper tried to put his hands on it, and normally in this kind of situations, it's better at least to find the ball out instead of putting the ball, trying to grasp the ball. And Ivan Minert knows that this is the moment that he was waiting for. He makes that very important substitution, and Aswani.
Well, the scoreline has changed again. Leopards 3, Thika United 0. I'll tell you something, Gilbert. In the 70th minute, defenders lose concentration. And that's what happened here. Even the goalkeepers, I mean, he just pushed the ball back here and left it for Aswani to tap it into the net.
Well, I just said it, Bernard. How do you lose concentration when you already have your pass in your pocket? I think the loss of concentration was on Thika's side as compared to Leopards, who know that at the end of this is the first allowance that they will be getting after 9 consecutive matches.
The winning allowances, you mean? The winning bonuses. Absolutely. You know, you've got to be specific, Gilbert. Thank you very much. But the loss of concentration was on the defense on the Thika United side, as Aswani again overruns it, brings in a crosser. This one's pumped off the field of play. It's going to be a throw-in for the Leopard side. Oh, they'll be enjoying themselves on the ride back to Nairobi one day, the Leopards. They probably will be taking the salutes as well, all the way from Mumias down into Kisumu, if they're going by road to Kisumu.
Probably they might walk all the way to Ikero.
Well, that would be overdoing it, but hey, why not if you're winning? For time wasting, a yellow card. And President Mwazo is the man who's penalized for it. Well, they've got to calm down. Kyongera told them earlier, calm down and give us a chance. I think that's what Kyongera was saying much earlier on. Mwazo was making it look like he was going to give it a big throw, ends up just getting it to Katarega. I think United trying to come out. They'll be looking at where they'll be putting their passes through, because that's the only way they can make any move forward. Big boot onto the left side. This should be Ray, and was looking at Max, runs back into the center to Mzee, and Salim Mzee then plays it to Eugene Wakangula. This one's too long, it's offside as well, according to the first assistant referee, Stephen Adair. No challenge on that, absolutely well spotted, isn't it?
Well, you're expecting, as you said, a lot of mistakes that are going to be done, especially in this 75 minutes mark. Thika United will try to bypass that midfield and play those long balls. But again, look at the way they are playing the long balls, right close to that man on your screen, Ian Otieno. It has been absolutely fantastic.
Well, I think I will have to string the right passes to be able to get the ball forward. But there's enough blue shots in the midfield to pick up the loose balls again. Kyongera plays it back. There it is Mangoli, who now brings it onto the left side to Katarega. Plays it back onto the left side. President Mwazo is running on that flank. And a foul here, right in front of the referee. I think another card is coming out. And Samuel Mwanje, you'll be surprised, gets only the first yellow card. He's been one of the hardest tackling defenders on this side, but then again, he had his boot way up the accepted limits. Plus, of course, he was pushing from behind as well. Gets himself yellow carded. So what can the Leopards do with the free kick they've got? They've pushed 3 men onto the side to try and attempt to turn it into goal. But I'm sure they will not even want to go that way. They just wanted to roll it close to themselves. Oh! This one is in the net. It's Bernard Mangoli. What a shot coming from the returnee. Minayat and Ezekiel Akwana ecstatic about the performance here. And Yano Tiero equally joining the celebration up front. This will be the day the Leopards will remember as a turning point for the team. And a lot of the off-field machinations that are going on will now change direction as Bernard Mangoli changes the scoreline so far. What a shot coming from the midfielder. Totally beats the goalkeeper, who doesn't see it coming. Well, Elungata arrives there a shade too late. Minayat is in ecstasy at the moment. And I guess, Gilbert, this is the Leopards that the fans have been waiting for.
Now, I just like the fact that you actually stood up to compliment that goal, Bernard.
I wanted to see it again, then I realized the replay was here on the screen, Gilbert. So you can't blame me for that. But that's a goal and a half. That would be counting for goal of the week. 4-0 in favor of the Leopards. And another substitution on the Leopard side. Bringing in Yusuf Saf for Katariga. Oh, amazing shot from Bernard Mangoli. Pardon my excitement for it. It's just that you don't see it that often. Well, last time we saw a shot like that, from a position like that, it didn't go down on the right side. It was actually lobbed over by one Francis Guard of the Gormaya side. But the Leopards have also shown how it should be done. Here is Thika, and the flag is out for offside. There's two of them in there, including Joel Tata. And I guess the celebration can start in earnest at the moment here, but
this is
listen,
something.
I really I would excuse you if you wanted to dance with Sukupi at the moment here, but don't worry about it, okay?
I just want to compliment
it's
the fact
coming in your direction.
The fact that, Bernard, you actually stood up to your feet in your from your comfort of your seat to compliment Mangoli's shot.
That was a good goal. And that will not be questionable, Gilbert. That is a good goal. And from a retardee, he really has made a mark for the Leopards in his first game coming back. In the Premier League, rather, coming back to the Leopard side. It comes out onto the left side, and Mwazo will push it further into the midfield. And then Assad Busa will play it again into the center. Down onto the right side, with Salim Zed trying to bring in the cross. It's dealt with that for a corner. It's going to be for the Thika United side. Well, the only way that Thika United can win this game is if they score 5 goals in 10 minutes. That would be a goal every 2 minutes. Some very difficult mathematics. And it looks like a Herculean task. The corner was just a little bit too high, and then again, Tieno became a little bit too tall and got onto that one very easily. A substitution for the Thika United side. Bringing out Timothy Luda. His place being taken by Major Sami. What do you think about that substitution, Gilbert?
Well, I think Major is normally a left back, and most probably the, Luda, who is laying straight on the left-hand side of the attack, is being pulled out. Major going in will definitely have a shift in the organization of that attack.
You think it's going to have a major impact on this game?
I believe he's going to play in the left offensive, just to try at least and complement what Luda has been doing on the left-hand side.
And they've got 10 minutes to prove if they can be super good in the game. I'm talking about the Thika United side. The only way to get 3 points out of this is 5 goals in 10 minutes. It's a very tall order. And you must remember at that time, it's not that the other team, and that's the Leopard side, is sitting down to wait. They also are equally attacking. That's how they've got to their 4 goals. And with the 4 goals, of course, they're proving their superiority with just about 9 minutes of play remaining. This one again picked up by the goalkeeper, Yero Tiedo. That's a build-up for the Leopards on the right side. Oh, you've got to thank that man, Jongera. He's come back to the Leopards. Really has changed the way they're playing. On the right side, Aswani. Well, this time round, intercepted by Okumu. Dennis Odhiambo in a little bit of a haste to try and salvage some reputation for the side. The one they call the consolation goal is what probably the Thika United side is looking for. Good ball play. Looking for support, finding it in the midfield. They start to run down on the right side. This one's cut out by Jackson Saleh. It's going to be a corner. Ian wants to keep a very clean slate. That's why he's calling on his defenders to organize themselves nicely. And he's got all of them. One of them holding onto the post. That's why Fuller. The rest moving out forward. The first header is by Christian Mwazo. A return in trying to get a shot here. Not very well done. It's 3-on-1. And the Leopards can go for a quick break if they wanted to. But I guess they don't want to rush it. They already have 4 goals to their credit. They decide to build it slowly. I guess when you've scored 4 goals, you can afford to be a little bit wasteful, Gilbert.
I think those are tired legs. I mean, Kiongera has really put in a lot of effort. And the mere fact that they've actually pushed him to the right-hand side of the attack has really paid off for Leopards, because he does not only run to the right, but he also brings in very precision kind of passes.
There's going to be trouble here. Yellow card that goes out to Salim Mzee. I can honestly tell you I'm losing count of the yellow cards that have been given in this game, because the Thika United side have soaked them up as well. That is not even supposed to be a yellow card offense. That's a red card offense, Gilbert. That's very deliberate, boots up, studs on, and it's very intent on messing up a career.
That was intentional. It was intentional. That's a high boot.
That's deliberate. The ball's already off there. And that should have been a red card offense. It's not even a yellow card offense. It's very lucky Mr. Salim Mzee to be on the field of play at the moment. Saleh Jackson will obviously feel the pinch of that. He went in on the full swing. You know, it can have so many effects, you know, dislocations up on the hip, on the knee as well. I tell you, there's pain on one side, but there's joy and celebration on the other side. As 2 scorers of the Leopards are exchanging notes. I think they're telling each other, look, my goal was better than yours. Let's see if we can find out which one was the best of them. Kiongera's shot parried back, and Aswani at the easiest, but also the best moments of mentality and turn to put the ball into the net. It was the 3rd goal of the Leopards. The first one scored by Kiongera, second one by Katarega, and the 4th one by Bernard Mangoli. This is why I would insist that should have been a red card offense. Saleh Jackson just unable to get back onto his feet, and he's going to be stretched off. You don't see a defender like Saleh Jackson sitting down like that for that long, wincing in pain. Usually would pick himself up back onto his feet and continue with the game. And it's the very first time in the entire game that we're actually seeing the stretcher coming onto the field of play. Otherwise, the bulk of it have been just small knocks that didn't require much in terms of the medical attention. But this one is a studs up, very deliberate move on Jackson Saleh by Salim Mzee.
Well, AFC Leopards has actually exhausted all their substitutions, and they will have to contend with playing with the 10 men for the remainder of the next 5 minutes.
Well, I'm sure the Leopards can manage that way. The bigger worry should be whether Jackson Saleh can be back on his feet and back into the game, because the Leopards will next play Mathare United, and that's not an easy game at all when he comes up, and they will need the services of Jackson Saleh in defense if they are to work as well as they did today. This is going to be a throw-in for the Leopards. And a good run down on the flanks. Good tackle with ball possession, getting back to the Thika United side, who are moving down into the midfield. Still trying to look for the avenue to use. They decide to come onto the right side. Major, with his first major touch of the ball, gives it back for a build-up to start from behind. Oh, it's the man who occasioned that tackle on Saleh. Big boot onto the left side to the captain of his side, Dennis Odhiambo. He was getting a chance to play for the national team as well, Dennis. Tolalua hustles out, picks up the loose ball. And then Christian Mwazo wants to start to run. But everything moving as it was. Doesn't get to Kiongera as he loses his footing. Back onto the right side for the Thika United side. Now playing more for possession and trying to look for an opening. This is cut out by Yakubu. Gives that for throwing. Gonna be for the Thika United side. Well, I think he'll still try to watch out to see whether Saleh is back in the game, but he is, so he's moved back into his central position. You would have imagined that all that possession was probably because he wasn't there. This one set up onto the left side. Goalkeeper comes off his line. And Ian still has a touch of that ball. Oh, this is going to be a throw-in for the Thika United side. Oh, Ian Otieno, very loud in mouthing out his frustration at that move. That's him. And he's issuing instructions in capital letters, Gilbert. And he's telling them to stop dilly-dallying around in there.
Well, you expect that from a goalkeeper of Ian's caliber. He comes out, he stays on his feet.
But he does well to actually stop that move.
Right,
you know, he plays like a defender as well. I think he's given his 110%. He actually has a good reason to be able to give them, you know, what he thinks they should get in terms of a verbal telling.
Well, there's one person who's definitely going to have some sleepless nights tonight. And that must be Ian's compatriot in that goalkeeping department.
Who's that?
Ideche.
Oh, why is he going to have sleepless nights?
I mean, the kind of display that Ian has put out today definitely will put him in a very precarious position.
Mina is probably going to have another hairstyle when we come back. Contrast it to Muyoti's hairstyle. At the moment, the two of them mapping out a strategy to get the best of the Thika United side. Tolonwa limping out of the field of play in some injury. Went down off the ball. Fatigue will equally be settling in as we play the last seconds of this game. Of course, there's going to be added time in this one. Thika United is still trying to get onto the added time. They may be guilty of not taking the shots, but they didn't get the chances to take the shots as well. Chamlet Sugar 2-1, still playing, leading Sofa Parker. Bandari 1-1, is still playing that as well. Western Steamer is leading Mathare United by 1-0. That's the score update. So, game still going on. The Sofa Parker and Chamlet Sugar, Bandari and Dushuru as well. And Steamer is leading Mathare United, but this has not come to an end as well. Here at the Mumia Sugar Complex, it's 4 goals that we have seen. 4 lovely goals, the classic of them being the Bernard Mangoli 4th goal of this game. I think it's the kind of goal that you could use in textbooks to teach people how to score, you know.
Well, it's the technique that was executed very well, and the precision, the power behind it, everything coming together for Bernard Mangoli.
3 minutes of play will be added to this game. And I guess those will be the longest 3 minutes for the Thika United side. Well, you could say for the Leopards as well, but it will be the loveliest 3 minutes as well for the Leopards, just to know that anytime this will come to an end. And they will come out victorious after how many games, Gilbert? They played 9 matches without a win.
This is the 10th one that is breaking the jinx. The ice.
Oh, the last 5 they drew with the Rangers. They lost to Muaroni, and then they lost to Thika United. They drew with Tusker 2-2 and lost to Chamberlain. But now the Leopards are roaring again. This one just spraying itself in front of goal, not getting onto the target. But again, a last-minute ditch by Kiongera. And I think that concentration on going down instead of shooting is what would be the problem with that technique and trying to get the ball into the net. Thika United still being kept at bay in defense. An attempt to get Kiongera up front. Always has this very nice spring in his step every time. And was really looking at trying to get a touch here. But a throw-in, it doesn't work his way. Comes out for the Thika United side. Surely they've got 2 minutes, in fact 1 minute, and a couple of seconds to try and get a consolation goal here. Wazo will pick it up for the Leopards. Aswadi, the scorer of the 3rd goal in the 72nd minute. And I think now just rolling the ball around. The goalkeeper has hesitated. Oh, that would be a big blunder he's making. He came out and then hesitated, leaving possession with Aswadi, who was left with just the calculations, the mathematics. If he goes to which degree, if he lifts it how high, If he pushes it how hard, will it get past the goalkeeper and into the net?
Well,
The goalkeeper allows him that chance to do the mathematics.
Aswani actually hesitated, but should he have gone just the way he was moving, he would have gotten to that ball and probably put it in the 7th goal of the season.
Well then, we're staring at 17 seconds and counting of this game, remaining with the Leopards leading by 4 goals to nil. Yes, you heard it right, 4 goals to nil. It's a scoreline that we've never seen for a long time, even in the Sports Special League, and it's over. Raymond Onyango brings it to an end. The loveliest game.